Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Never Ever Mets. This is actually going to be two episodes in one. That's what I'm planning to do in this video, as long as it doesn't get too long. If it gets too long, I'll cut it off and do two separate videos. But for those of you who just want to hear the latest, I will put a timestamp in for when the review for the latest episode actually starts. I am very behind, not only on videos, but in life. So normally, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing good today. I'm doing okay. Normally, when I step away from my channel, it's because I'm handling things in my life. Nothing is going well. I'm really just gonna have to lean on the Lord, because I don't know who I am anymore. I am a very structured, very in control, very these things need to be done type of person. And for the last 3 months, I have been struggling, probably longer than that. And I really can't, I feel like I'm watching somebody else. Like, this is so not me. Usually when I take a break from one thing, I can beast out the other thing, and then I can get right back on I can get right back on it. That has not been happening. And so what you all have seen on my channel the last couple months is a reflection of that. I am just struggling. I am struggling with time management. I am struggling with just like sorting out stuff in this little brain of mine. I'm out of sorts. I'm out of sorts. I am out of sorts. And I cannot figure out how to get back in sorts, honey. So with no further ado, we will get into this review. I'll try to keep the first section short so we can jump straight into the latest episode. I know it's late, but I told y'all before, whether I'm late or not, I do not want to get to the point where I'm skipping several episodes and just trying to pop back up. So I'm gonna pay what I owe, and whoever want to hear it gonna listen to it. And I'll give the timestamp for the next episode. Okay, let's get into it. Also, I forgot to say I'm using some older technology because my iPhone broke, so I'm using what's available on my old phone. My Google Pixel, my baby ain't never did me wrong, so I can't talk bad about her. So if I sound different, I'm using Power Director, and I've been stopped using the paid version of it because I didn't have this phone anymore. I know you can use CapCut, but I haven't familiarized myself with CapCut, so I'm using this instead. So I might sound totally different. It might look totally different. I am trying, everyone. Now, let's get into Jay and Cinco. I want to start with them from the last episode. I'm starting not to like them as a couple that much. They really own some young stuff, and I have to remind myself how old they are. But there's always a couple in the house that wants to think that they can offer their expertise to everybody, and they're one of those couples, along with some others, really everybody in the house. But they particularly have kind of worn me down with it, because they're coming from a place of, well, we're perfect, we don't have no problems in the house. It's everybody else, and we just waiting to see who else gonna leave. Why are you doing that? The only thing that you should be focused on really is y'all. If y'all gonna have conversations with the other couples, cool, but don't do that to make yourself better or raise your relationship in anybody's eyes, because as soon as you do that, child, somebody will embarrass you. So I don't know, I'm just starting not to care for them two all that much. If I was old girl dealing with Chris, I would just go ahead and give this up. I don't think Chris is worth working this hard over. I mean, he cool, he cute, but and so what? Like, get another one. I don't understand what he's wanting from her. I think he got the same problem Brittany has. I really don't think he's all that attracted to Alexis, and that's not me saying she's unattractive. I just don't think I think Chris don't want to date younger women, but because of the headache that he feels young women can be. But at the same time, he has an issue with older women who are more assertive, but he's still dealing with Alexis saying he wants her to do less. He wants her to dial it back less. When you dealing with an older woman, a lot of that is just her personality. And while she may make some adjustments because she likes you, Alexis is never going to be a mute and mild woman. She already said it. I know I'm assertive. I know I'm aggressive. I know I go after what I want. And I know women just like her, and there's some men who like it. Chris, you just not a man that like it. I also think that Chris has mommy issues, and he's trying to live that out in the women he dates. So his mother may have been an aggressive woman, or his mother may have been a type of woman who, or the men his father dated, because he said he had a lot of step parents, may have been very aggressive. Hold on, y'all. Okay, and so for that reason, it feels like he's trying to get a woman and kind of make her buckle down the way he wanted the women who were his caretakers to do. Now, I could be wrong about that, but it just seems like he is just overly trying to make this happen with Alexis. She takes him on a good date. They go boxing. They have a lot of fun. This is probably the most interaction I've seen between them two that was intimate, when she took him to do something he wanted to do. But I just don't think it's worth the time and effort that she's putting in. I think Chris has more hoops for her to jump through, and I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I just don't think he likes her that much. That's the opinion that I have. All right, and now to who everybody wants to talk about. I know these photos are not going to look good because of the app I'm on. But anyway, Chris and, not Chris, oh my gosh, Jared and Charlie. Now, first I just want to say, I know that Jared is full of it, completely full of it. No matter how I feel about Charlie, I don't think she deserved this. I think Charlie was moving off of what she thought Jared was doing. She thought they were in a good space. Jared was telling her they were in a good space, and so that's what she assumed. But she also had gotten on my nerves, trying to be everybody's guidance in the house and, you know, make it as if her relationship was going so well and everybody else is going downhill. She wasn't going as hard as Jay and Cinco were, but she was always giggling about situation going wrong. And I was just like, girl, like, you don't even know that your whole situation is a lie. He finally tells her, he's very blunt. I thought it was very cold the way he was doing it. Basically just like, I just wanted to have a good time. She was shocked. She said, wow, you really could have just told me, because I really expected you to have a problem with me throwing extra children on you. So you having a problem actually would not have made me upset. I would have understood that. You didn't even give me a chance. You're assuming that I would have been upset. Really, you assuming that I wouldn't have gave you none. And that's all you really wanted. And I look at Jared and I'm like, he can't be that hard up for coochie. He cannot be that hard up for coochie where he got to lie about it like this. Is times getting that hard, fellas? Let me know. So anyway, that's what he decided to do. His sister comes. I love that Charlie held her own with the sister. She could have folded. But when the sister comes, we see her talking to Jared, and she's definitely much of my brother, kind of like a my man. And Jared isn't really, he's telling her the story, but he's really softening it. I just felt like she was kind of in La La Land, like everything was going to go well. I got tired of them saying La La Land. Everything was going to be okay after you laid these things on me, and then I have children of my own. I know I added a new baby on you, but you added like 3 extra kids on me, not just the one. The one would have been fine because we would have been neck and neck, but you got 3 extra children. That's not really something I do. That's not a burden I really want to carry. And again, that's all fine and well, but you could have just said that. That's the point. But I like the fact that when the sister did come talk to Charlie, because the sister was going for her brother. She was going up for her brother, and okay, that's what they do. But she was basically just like, I don't understand why you would think that these things were going on after he had already told you. And she was like, well, that's what I'm telling you. He didn't tell me. He did not tell me. And she was like, no, but if you lay some extra children on somebody and you just want to walk around like everything's all good and be in La La Land and not realize that this probably isn't going to work, and he's telling you, she was like, but that's what I'm saying. I would have been okay if he told me that wasn't going to work. He didn't tell me that. He acted like he was cool. Jerry acted like he was going to move after he found out about her children. And he ends up telling her that he actually had wanted her to come to South Carolina with him. That was the plan. And I'm just like, well, what about your extra children that live there? Like, what's your relationship with those mothers? Is it one mother? Is it 2 mothers? How would it have been for her and her child living in South Carolina? Like, why did you make that assumption that that's what was going to happen? But anyway, Charlie is just like, if he would have told me, I would have been cool with it. So the sister is looking doubtful, like, I know what it is to be in love. I know what it is to hurt. And Charlie was like, I know what it is to hurt too. I would have been upset, but I would have rather him told me. I'm not with him because he can do anything for me or my kids. I got my kids. I'm sure I make more money than him. I was just like, now, hey, talk yours, Charlie. I want to know what she do with all them children. But she was like, I bring in more money than him. So it's not really about the money per se. It was really just about me wanting to be with him. I like him. She even said she loved this man. And I said, child, that was the worst mistake you could have made. But anyway, the sister looked at her brother and asked him, why did he lie? But she asked it she wasn't talking to him the way she was talking to Charlie. So why did you lie? Very like, I really don't want to have to check you in front of her, but I'm going to have to because you was lying. And Jared makes some BS excuse up as to why he was lying. He just wanted to have a good time. He wanted to get some coochie. He already said it. He already said that. Not to her, but he already said it. I want to have a good time to Charlie is code for I wanted to get some coochie. But he told us outright that he wanted to have some sex with her. And he did. So Charlie is still thinking that they could have something going on. She wants Jared to let her know. In the next episode, I see her saying, well, you got to let me know what's going on. He already let you know. And that's my problem, ladies. Like, they already let you know. They don't need to let you know again. Walk away. Walk away. And they ain't never going to be bold enough to break it down to you, because most men are cowardly, you know. And if you're not one of them type of men and you can have a conversation and you can take the blowout, I'm not talking to you. But if you know that you're one of the ones that hold it in and you got 1,800 reasons why you holding it in and not telling this woman you don't want her, it don't matter. It's just cowardly behavior. It's cowardly. It's just cowardly behavior. So anyway, the sister leaves, tell her, like, you know, always claim your kids. That's your pride and joy. And don't let these men lie to you. You beautiful inside and out, whatever. So they still there. So let's move on to the next episode. I don't really have too much to say about anybody else. I know that Brittany and old boy, you know, had words. Them two need to just let it go. I don't have much to say about them. She not attracted to him. And she shouldn't have tried to do him no favors at that table, because he never does her any favors. And he always embarrasses her in front of the whole group. He don't like one-on-one conversations with her. All right, y'all. No delay. Let's do it today. We are moving right into the next episode. So Ty and Brittany have their fallout. My only issue with Ty really is the fact that he always does like to have conversations in front of everybody. I need to show everybody that I'm running things around here, because Brittany has been running him for the most part. As far as him doing a lot of stuff for her and trying to fix their situation. But the situation is what everybody said. Brittany really does not like him like that, and she's trying to force herself to do it. So whenever they do get into an argument or get into a confrontation, or she gets irritated with him, it's very easy for her to kind of just be like, you're not listening to me. You're not. And she's pointing her fingers in his face, and it's getting hype, and she ends up walking away. Comes back down to the kitchen, tries to let everybody know that she doesn't like the way that Ty speaks to her in front of the group. The group says, mainly Jay says, how do you think he feels, though? Do you ever wonder how you make him feel when you do things you do? She wants to know what things. Or what about you flirting with other men in the house? She talking about her man, really, but Cinco. But she's leaving it very general. And Brittany is just like, what are you talking about? I'm not flirting with other men in the house. So we get some flashbacks of her and Cinco, and she's tickling him. And Jay tells her, oh, well, you running around this house looking like a promiscuous whore in front of somebody that you say you want to be with. Brittany takes offense to that and just like, girl, you doing way too much. And Jay was like, no, I'm not doing too much. That's what you look like. So this stuff Jay been wanting to say, right? So she tell her to define promiscuous. I say, Brittany, you don't have a case here, all right? Now, granted, promiscuous is the wrong word to use in this regard. Promiscuous would be her trying to F, other men in the house, or being overtly flirtatious to the point where she might be offering them something salacious. But she is being flirtatious, and she is being inappropriate. So those two things are true. But I don't really care about no definitions right now. Brittany, you were doing that, and I do think you're trying to deflect from the fact that you were doing it. She says that she doesn't feel the need to apologize for that, because that's just her. That's how I know she knows what she was doing. So anyway, after the semantics conversation, she goes to later have a conversation with Ty, where they basically both decide that this is over and they need to leave. I don't feel like Brittany was fully owning the fact that she is asking a lot of Ty, and telling her that she doesn't feel any like physical closeness to him, while also flirting with other guys and touching them, mainly Cinco, physically. Not overtly so, but tickling him and joking with him and talking to him and you don't really do that with Ty, not that we see. So Ty feels some type of way about it. It's obviously that you're not physically attracted to him, and you need to just let it go. I don't know if Brittany was concerned about looking shallow, but they really on a similar level of attraction. Ty, to me, is just kind of more of like a heavier set guy, in my opinion. He kind of, not heavy set, but he a little, what's the word that's not big? He fluffy. He a little fluffier, that's all. But she wasn't feeling him like that for various reasons. It could have been a mix of his personality as well as his attraction. Like if he was cuter, maybe she would have tolerated, some of his jokey joke ways a little bit more. He did seem immature for a 40-something year old, but again, those are all things that you should have just cut immediately as soon as you Once you reach the point where you realize you were not drawn to him in any kind of way and it didn't matter what he was showing you, that's when it's time to go. But they end up having a conversation and they decide that they are going to leave. Ty was frustrated with her because Brittany really wasn't owning the fact that you were flirtatious with other men in the house. It's like you never wanted to admit that. You kept saying, like, that's just me. Ty's sick of it. He gets up. She packs her raggedy bag and she go ahead and leave. And they out the house. That's the end of that. What y'all thought about it? Okay, Jay and Cinco go on a date. It was a cute date. It was cute for them. Making perfume is hard. I made perfume when we went to Paris and I was struggling. But it was a cute date. It was really cute. They are having a little point of contention about moving. Cinco feels like she should come from Chicago to Atlanta because it's a much better space. Things are less expensive. It would be better out there. She would like it more. And she says, you can't just assume that it would be better for us. I do have a child. And you have to understand that all of my support system is in Chicago. My parents are in Chicago. Friends and family are in Chicago. His friends are in Chicago. Now, she was blowing me with the friends because once she said her son was 4 or 5, and I'm not saying it's somewhere around that age, like maybe 5 or 6. I'm not saying they don't have important friends at their age, but child, are you still friends with the person you was friends with at 5 years old? I lived in the same place all my life, and I am not friends with the people I was friends with at 5 years old. We're still in connection, but we are not friends. Okay, I met my best friend that I'm still friends with, my longest friend, when I was in the 4th grade, and we still friends today. So I do think he could probably move around pretty well depending on what kind of personality the young man has, but leaving your village and leaving your support system, 100% understand. Like, she got an argument there. Cinco is still just kind of like, I hear you, but I just think that it would be better for him there. You're not even given the opportunity for him to adjust to it. He might like it. But what I don't hear Cinco addressing is what will be her support system there. You. And are you ready to take on, the assistance and the help that I get from other people? Like, are you trying to do that? Because it doesn't seem like you're answering that question. Are we putting finances to the side to do that? Because you're asking me to make a move with my child, and I need to know how essentially this is going to work, because there's a lot that my support system does do for us. I'm sure the fact that she's bringing it up lets me know that they probably are very intricately entwined in her son's life as well as her life. So I do think there are logistics that they'll probably have to talk about a little bit more. I saw some people in the comments, and anytime I see comments like this, I know it's a man. It's either a man or a woman who don't really know what's up, and it ain't got nothing to do with her kids. It's something else about her. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by when I make that comment. Or they got a whole slew of kids, because Jay only got one. But I saw a comment where somebody was just like, Jay really needs to take this opportunity to give her child a 2-parent home. This doesn't come around a lot for a lot of single mothers. She's worried about her support system there, but she'll have a support system through here and making a 2-parent home. I said, child, who is this? While I understand the sentiment of what this person is saying, it's people who started in a relationship, in a marriage as a 2-parent home, and the person still doesn't have any support. And parents will tell you, people who are actively raising their children together will tell you they still need support from other people. It is hard with it just being them too. So when I hear people make comments like that, I said, y'all act like I think a 2-parent home is important, but y'all think that's like the end all be all to problems when it comes to the support for a family. You still need other people, and people with children have said that. They'll make it work with the two of them, but they're both worn out, tired, and usually somewhere suffering, possibly in their relationship, because they don't have time for each other ever. They don't have the bandwidth for each other because it's all about the kids, all about the kids, all about the kids. There's no there's no break, especially if you don't have the finances to hire outside help. So I thought that comment was interesting. And my second reason I thought that comment was interesting, because I don't know one single mother. I tell y'all this all the time. I don't know one single mother that don't got mad men on their line. At least 2. If they ain't got a lot, they got at least 2, especially if they still look good, still keeping themselves up. They got men on the line. So what you talking about, girl? I do believe at this point her and Cinco are still together, so I think that's good. I'm not sure if she has moved yet. I still don't think that has happened, but I do understand the hesitation with moving from your support system. They not married, they just in a relationship. So at any point in time, he could decide to break up with her, and she's uprooted her life to Atlanta, and she has to start all over down there with everything that she has, especially in regards to building around her son, is in another city. So I would have to know, how serious are you to this? And I think we're going to see a little bit more maybe the next episode or maybe before they leave. But from my understanding, they are still together. Okay, and the last part of the episode that I'm going to cover is between Brandon and Kiki. This irritated me. Brandon's stepbrother comes, her best friend comes. I thought they were two lovely people. The brother was doing the most when he first got in. Alexis was like, this little nigga is on one. Because when he came in, he was like, where my brother at? And she asked him where he from. He was like, where it look like I'm from. I said, baby, now who's you talking to? Now respect your elders up in here. So he come in there, he got that, what is that? Is it a pixie? I don't know, child. I think he got a little relaxer, but that's besides the point. I'm going to leave that alone. We ain't got time today. So they talk separately to their people. He talked to Brandon, she talked to Kiki. Brandon is telling him he liked Kiki, he enjoys Kiki. Apparently he's already talked about Kiki a lot to his brother, but they started talking about her drinking. And we learned that Brandon has a history of drinking in his family. Sounds like the dad was drinking. Was the stepdad or the dad? Drinking, causing a lot of issues in the house, raising a whole lot of hell. And so with those issues going on in the house, the parenting was getting a little lax. You see the two-parent home? It was getting a little lax up in there. And so Brandon had to step in at 15 and do a lot of the child rearing with the younger siblings. And I think it really put a mark on him. There's a lot of PTSD there. He don't want to be with nobody that drink a lot because he knows it could get out of control. So that's something that really bothers him, which is why I said I think he should have, as soon as he saw those signs, and if he felt like those signs weren't improving in Kiki or she wasn't willing to improve them, I don't know if I would have stayed with her, because that really is that drinking is a huge deal to him. He might do better with a woman that don't drink at all, or maybe just drinks wine at a social event and keep it at that. When Kiki is talking to her friend, she conveniently leaves out the fact that she fell off that chair. Don't think I didn't notice that, Kiki. She didn't talk about that. But she's talking about how Brandon seems to have a really big issue with her drinking. Hold on. Okay. He seems to have a really big issue with her drinking. He's always fussing about it, talking about it. Meanwhile, he drinking too. He giving me the lady version of the glass he pouring for himself. The friend finds that to be very interesting, but she was just like, okay, well, what else is going on? Now the friend said Kiki don't drink that much. That's what she said. Brittany still left out, but Kiki left out that story of her getting so drunk she fell out that chair. She tells the friend she has not confessed to Brandon that she was in a relationship during the time that they were dealing with each other. She was breaking up or ending dealings with her ex, and I believe it was her ex-fiance. And she hasn't told him yet. The friend is just like, girl, why you ain't told him yet? You need to tell him. You've had time to tell him. Kiki makes it seem like they've had so many other issues going on that it really just ain't been the right time, and he been on me about the drinking. Kiki didn't want to tell Brandon because she just didn't want to. She wanted to wait until the last minute. It has very little to do. Matter of fact, I would have brought it up while we was talking about that drinking. I'd be like, well, while we bringing up problems, let me tell you about some other stuff we got going on, okay? This drinking is lightweight. So when they get back together in front of their respective people, that is when it comes out that Kiki had the relationship overlapping with her and Brandon's relationship. And the way Kiki handled this was just plain, it was just wrong. There's no way around it. The way you were handling this is completely wrong. After they talked to the people, and it seemed like Brandon's brother was just like, I mean, you do gotta realize y'all in a certain environment, so maybe she is gonna kind of drink every day. Like, y'all chilling, y'all not going to work. I can understand that. They not on vacation though, Brandon's brother, but I get it. You know Brandon like her, so you trying to, you get what I'm saying? Like, you trying to stick up for the situation or whatever. And I do think Brandon likes her. I just think that drinking is a big problem. And now when she confesses this relationship, Brandon is clearly upset. He tells her, like, he can't believe that. Why are you just not telling me that? It's so messed up. Brandon brother is looking like, child, I don't even know what to say about this one. The friend really don't say too much about that situation. I mean, I I think she knows that Kiki was messed up for telling him at this point in time as well. Now she does ask him, you mean to tell me, like, were you didn't deal with nobody? Now everybody's doing that route, like, you didn't deal with nobody in 4 years. I know you had to. Kiki even tell her friend, I hope that we even, like, I hope he was dealing with somebody too. No, I hope that you would have told him a long time ago that you had this secret, because you dealing with somebody else is the reason why you were holding up y'all's relationship. We find out that Brandon did try to see you. We find out that Brandon was trying to get closer to you and you wasn't having it. And the reason why you wasn't having it is because you were not over your ex. So it's different with you. Even if we, not it would be right, but let's say he was overlapping with somebody else. He didn't bring that somebody else into his feelings and his emotions for you in a way that you noticed it. He noticed that you wasn't feeling him like that. He noticed that you was keeping him on a string. It's not the same thing. And whenever you bringing up an issue that you did to somebody, it would behoove you not to bring up what they may have done. You're not taking accountability if you're bringing up stuff that you think I did. You don't even got no proof that he did that. Or if you're bringing up issues that you have with me, your time to bring up issues that you had with Brandon was prior to this conversation. We talking about you now. So that was pissing me off. Then at breakfast, she further continued. And then why are y'all going to talk to everybody else? Next thing we see is Brandon going to talk to Alexis. I get you trying to get some advice, but why, y'all? Why? He going to talk to Alexis, and Alexis like, you weren't with nobody in them 4 years? And he was just like, no. Once I met Kiki, no. So, I mean, I guess that's his story, and he's sticking to it. And then after he talks to Alexis, we see Kiki simultaneously, not after. We see her talking to Jay and Cinco, and they being her smooth relationship counsels. Jay and Cinco like, oh man, like I thought it was gonna be so big, like a baby or something. That ain't really nothing. I said, child, everybody in this house is damn crazy. So the next morning at breakfast, I feel like they put a little bit of a battery in Kiki's back, but the battery was already there. They just charged it up. At breakfast, when she's talking to Brandon's ready to talk about it. She started bringing up how she never felt like Brandon really listens to her. I got problems with you too. You talking about you don't want to deal with my drinking. It's stuff about you I don't want to deal with. And he like, okay, like what? I don't like dealing with you moping around. I don't like your energy sometimes. You'll be mean to me and you'll be moping around and being standoffish with me, and then you'll come to me and you'll try to be sweet. Like, I'm confused by that. Like, be nice to me. That's what I want. I want you to be nice to me. He was like, I am nice to you. I brought up that drinking, and after you was just like, I don't have a problem, I kind of let that go. Like, I ain't said nothing else about it. But obviously, Brandon, it is still bothering you though. Again, if the drinking's a deal breaker, that's a deal breaker. The relationship thing is just the icing on the cake. Kiki, you think y'all can get through it because you don't feel no type of way about it. You don't think it's no big deal because you feel like ain't nobody else. Everybody had to be dealing with somebody else in this bracket of time that we wasn't seeing each other. But I think the difference is he wanted to see you. He wanted to be in a relationship with you. He wanted to bring y'all closer, and you were holding it up because you still weren't over your ex. And so there's like a higher level of dishonesty. I don't know what he was doing. We ain't got no proof of it. We know about yours. So there's like a higher level of disloyalty and dishonest when it comes to you and how you handle the situation. I don't know. I don't think these two are going to work. But y'all can let me know what y'all think. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, and subscribe because I got to get up out of here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about Love After Lockup. I don't think I'm going to do 2 videos in one for that one because Love After Lockup got so many things going on. I might just hit the new episode and go, but I will have to fully watch both of them. I only watched the last one and then let y'all know how. Y'all will see how I'll be doing it, but this one was easier to do as a combo. But like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all, my doggo audio keep cutting off. Like, comment, and subscribe. I will see y'all for the next one. Thank you so much for being patient with me. Y'all know I appreciate it. I'm just trying to get my life, everything together.